Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I was a bit distracted there because my watch started talking to me just as I was about to go live. I hope you're well. Good evening and happy Wednesday to you. I'm just checking in to make sure that you can see and hear me. So I'm looking at the comments just to make sure that if you can't see me or hear me, somebody will pipe up very shortly. But I can see lots of you already joining and ready to see the new collection this evening. Exciting. We'll be launching on Friday, so not long to wait. Loud and clear. Thank you, Shannon. And thank you as well. I've seen some of you say that you have liked and shared already, so please continue to do that. I know you can't always share, and I know there's sometimes limits on where you can share to, so anything you can do is much appreciated. And we will have 2 giveaways this evening. I've been very businesslike, aren't I? We'll have 2 giveaways this evening, so make sure that you drop comments in the feed so we know you're there and watching. And I'm sure I've seen lovely Ali in the chat already. So she normally is the one who just keeps an eye on comments on both Facebook and YouTube, assuming Facebook is playing nicely this evening, or I can see Facebook comments as well. So I'm obviously live on both. So Ali keeps an eye on comments in both feeds, and she will give me the names for 2 giveaway winners this evening. And I'll tell you what the giveaways are when we turn the camera around and look at the desk and look at the new release, because then you'll see what it is I'm going to make available as the gifts this evening. So let me say some hellos. And I can see, there's just so many lovely names of people that tune in regularly every Wednesday, and I do appreciate you for doing that. The whole there's lots and lots of lives going on at the moment, obviously following the end of Create and Craft on TV last week. So I know there's lots of lives and there's lots of people with fantastic stuff to share and who want you to be able to see what it is they're offering as small brands. And I know lots and lots of you do kind of really work hard to support all of those brands and comment and take part in their lives. So the fact that you're here on a 7 o'clock on a Wednesday evening really is much appreciated. So let me say some hellos. So hi, Dawn, Amanda, Christine, Geraldine, Julie, Avril, Jane. Oh, how are you tonight, Jane? I think you were saying to me in a message this week that you tested positive for COVID. Hope you're not having a horrible time of it. Julie, yeah, you tell that Janice, Sarah. How dare she go live at the same time as me? Cheeky. I nearly messaged her, but I didn't I didn't want her to think she couldn't go live at 7, but I'll be watching Janice back as well for sure. Yes, Brian, Philippa's make with the Matchbox die, and I think it's a new collection coming out from Julie Hickey as well. So definitely bob over to Julie Hickey's group if you don't already to see what that new collection is. But Philippa is on her design team and made an amazing make with the Matchboxes. Fabulous. So thank you for sharing that, Philippa. Isabel, lovely to see you. Steph, Selena, and the names that I know Shannon was on because I saw her earlier. Vanessa, I'm sure I've seen your name too. So Celia, lovely to see you. I know. Where'd you go first? There's just too many options at the moment, which is lovely to have all that choice. Angela, lovely to see you. Dawn, thank you. Right, well, I'm glad that the Wednesday night crew are all in and ready, buckled up for a new reveal. Karen, lovely to see you. Hi, Amanda. Amanda's in South Africa, so I don't know what time it is there, Amanda. Thank you for tuning in though. Lovely to see you. Have you got your order, Julie? Good, I'm glad. I've been working so hard to get orders out this last week or so. It has been mad with the number of orders that you've been putting in. Again, huge thanks for that. So I've been working like a little demon, trying to get them all out the door. And I think as of midday today, I've got everything out the door. I think any orders that have dropped since midday today, obviously, have yet to be dispatched. So I'm doing all right. She says. Jane, lovely to see you. It's 9 o'clock, is it, Amanda? Oh, yeah, yes, you're 2 hours behind us, aren't you? 2 hours ahead of us, sorry. I'm terrible with my times. I don't know what time it is with Shannon, for example, in the States. So yeah, I'm seeing the chat whizzing past. So you are keeping me busy, Steph. And another thing that's keeping me busy, and I must mention it at the top of the live, is the pick of the weeks this week, both from the Timeless Traditions collection, so the A5 stamps, the paper pad, the rub-ons, and that has been flying out the door, and that's been really, really popular. I've put a bit more stock on this evening, and without giving too much away, in fact, my fingers are still green. I've been filming the Sunday YouTube video this afternoon, and that is using the Timeless Traditions collection. So if you are looking at it or thinking about it, the stock is getting really, really tight. And I do have a video tutorial using those products on Sunday, coming on Sunday. So that's just something I just wanted to mention, given it has been so busy. Right. Helen, lovely to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Fiona, lovely to see you. So what else? What else do I need to tell you? There was something else. I can't remember. So I'm going to turn the camera around. We'll talk about the new collection, and I'm going to hope it's going to pop back into my head. Where do you go to order things, Jodie? Do you mean the things like the pick of the week that are currently available? They're all on my website, which is funkyfossil.co.uk. So that's where you can get all the kind of the current deals in relation to discount offers, etc. So every week I do a pick of the week on a Monday, which is normally a fantastic deal, something which, you know, kind of more for the not half price or less. And that's kind of while stocks last. So we have a pick of the week on a Monday. We have obviously other discounts and savings that go on during the week. If you don't already subscribe to my newsletter, it's definitely worth doing that, because that's where those kind of deals drop, and you'll obviously then get the links to the shop, to the items in the shop. Yeah, that good one, Paul. That is what I am going to mention. Thank you. I'm glad you're all ahead of me and know what I'm meant to be saying. Hello, Simon, lovely. Oh, fabulous. Simon's watching as well. It wasn't that though, Paul. It wasn't that. Now, Paul is terrible for distracting me. I know what it was. My YouTube channel, when I was coming on to the live this evening, I noticed I am, I think, just three subscribers short of 2,000 followers, which is amazing. Thank you ever so much for all of you that kind of subscribe to the channel. I'd love to get it over 2,000. I don't think it helps me do anything specifically. You know, sometimes you reach certain thresholds and you can kind of get further functionality. So I don't think I'm able to do anything differently on YouTube as a result getting to 2,000, but it would just be lovely. So, you know, given we're climbing steadily over, well past the 2,000 mark on the Facebook group, and to get over 2,000 on the YouTube channel, it means an awful lot. So thank you so much for that. So, thank you, Shannon. That would be wonderful. Oh, it's Belinda. Hi, Belinda. Oh, you're all in. And Lynn. I think it's already monetized, Lynn. I think once you get past 1,000, but you never know. They may have different thresholds where you can get more. But for me, it's reach. It's people across the world, obviously, because the online community is international. Just really being able to see what it is we offer at Funky Fossil and get some inspiration. So yeah, the more people on the channel, the better. I'm just. Paul and Brian are bantering. Oh, hi, Carol. Yes, I tell you about Halloween boxes. I haven't posted it yet, Jane. I thought I'd post it tomorrow, because tomorrow's Halloween, isn't it? I think it is. Yes, it is. And Jane has made so Philip has done that fantastic make with the matchboxes that we've seen today. And Jane has made a fantastic range of matchboxes with Halloween treats in for everyone at her work. And so she sent me some pictures of that, because she's not on Facebook, so I'm going to share them tomorrow. So yeah, watch out for that fantastic work. Right. Oh, hiya, Jan. Yes, Halloween tomorrow. I don't like Halloween. I like Halloween. Of course, I like Halloween, but I, I don't like I don't like having random people knocking on my door. That sounds really antisocial, but you know what I mean. When my boys were little, um, we of course we went around doing trick or treating, and it was fantastic. But we tended to kind of do a circuit of each other's friends' house. So of course I knew where I was knocking, whose doors I was knocking on, and now because obviously they're both left home and are older, I just don't know the people that are knocking on my door. I'll get over it. Right. And sometimes they're like, I mean, obviously the kids are so lovely when with all dressed up and with their little treat bags, but sometimes they're kind of teenagers, and I don't know. I just feel slightly nervous. Yeah, well, my dog hates obviously bonfire night, and we're getting very close to those kind of fireworks starting out, aren't we? But yeah, my dog is more likely just to kind of lick anybody knocking on the door to pieces rather than anything else. Right, you got your treats ready. I did, yeah. I have tried that as well, Sarah. I have. We mostly need to start a Halloween support group, but I'm turning the camera around. So we've got a fabulous new collection. This is a Kim Dello collection. So I don't know if Helen's on tonight, Helen Ranger, but she's made some amazing things with the previous designs from Kim. And this is a continuation of that style. You remember the fox and the hare that are quite abstract. They've got a grungy feel to them, almost kind of silhouette designs. We've got some more fabulous images from Kim in that style. So and I've been sitting on these for a little while, and I've been super excited to share them with you. So I'm just trying to work out where to start. So these will be launching on Highlight Crafts on Friday this week. I've got 2 shows at Highlight, at 9 a.m., which is when this collection will be the focus, and then 11 a.m. where we'll do a sale show. So definitely worth tuning in for both, because I've got some fabulous deals in the sale show at 11, which are separate from the new release. So I'm looking forward to that. It was a lovely visit when I went down last time. And this time I think John's down as well, John Lockwood. So that'll be cool to catch up with John as well. So I'm looking forward to Friday very much. And then for those of you that ask, I will be putting the collection on my web shop from Saturday, so it won't be long to wait. There's not a long delay in terms of the product being available on Funky Fossil as well. In terms of ordering from how you order, Avril, I don't know if you've seen any of the lives that Highlight are doing now. They're doing a number of them, a number of live shopping hours a day, and it's about shopping in the hour. And when you're watching it, they give you a code for each of the products as they show them to you. So what you do is you type into the comments live and then fall, for example, if that's what the code they would be that they decide would work for this paper pad, and that then gets that activates a message that goes straight to you, and with a link for you to be able to go to their website and check that out. And you've got 24 hours, as I think they've told me, to check out your basket. So you don't need to hurry off and make that purchase there and then. In fact, you could purchase over a couple of shows, and I think your basket will just accumulate, and you've got 24 hours then to check that basket out. So it's a really fun way of shopping. The shows have been a real laugh, very relaxed and informal. But we go down the counter, we give you a code for each of the items, do some demoing, etc. And then you've got anything that you've put in the comments as a code will be waiting for you in a basket at the end of the hour. I do hope that makes sense. So yeah, and there's can you shop after the live? Steph, if you know what the codes are, yes. So it does remain live. And what I will do, and what I did last time, for those of you that can't catch the live hour, because I completely understand that, is the live streams on my Facebook page and on highlights. Oh, I've got a spider somewhere. Oh, you mean on here? Sorry. Oh, sorry, I thought it was a tarantula was approaching me. It's streaming on my Facebook page and on highlight, and then after the show, I pin that show, the live, to the top of my Facebook page, so that you can watch that back at any time in the next 24 hours. And the codes that we give you in that show are still valid. So you could watch. I'm live at 9 a.m. You could watch it at 5 p.m. by clicking on the live pinned on my Facebook page. You could put the codes in, and that should still go into your basket. I hope that makes sense. It is a lot more straightforward than I'm sure I've just made it sound. Right, let me show you these things. I'm sure I've now completely confused Steph, so I'm going to move swiftly on. Oh, do they, Ali? They put the codes at the end of the live. Yeah. Yeah. And as I say, you can watch the show back while it's pinned to the top of my page. And I've got to remember to take it down at the end of that 24 hours, just so that it doesn't confuse people and they think they're watching something that they can still shop in. It isn't complicated, Avril, honestly. Trust me. Anyway, do you want to have a look at these fabulous products? So it's not a massively large collection, as you can see. We're getting to that time of year where I don't want to overwhelm you with big bundles, but this is just such a lovely combination of items, and you'll see I've got some fab samples on the desk as well. So Forever Fall is the paper pad that I have put together to go with these fabulous stamp designs, which I'm still kind of covering up here. And as you'd imagine, it's full of kind of rich and earthy colours, patterns. I love this one. It's like strips of fabric, textured. So say you know how much I love my fall palette, and this one has got those kind of greens, golds, rusty colours. Some of these collage papers that I'm still very much in love with, but lots of texture in there. So when you look at some of these images that we see in the stamps, there's lots of stampability in this paper pad, in terms of, for example, this page, where you can stamp some of the leaves or elements onto the page, cut out, and you've got colour and texture already. Love, of course, I had to have a bit of really deep wood grain because it's just luscious, isn't it? I do like that. So remember, the usual kind of format, 12 designs, 3 of each, 36 in total. We've got a nice kind of breaker paper, so ones like this which are really deceptive in terms of obviously quite a soft and neutral page, but there's crackles and textures in here, so it's a really great one to give you contrast to some of the darker colorways in the pad. Yeah, it is. You definitely need to kind of, and now Jane's the person to ask, because I know she shops on the Highlight Craft Live Hours, so she can explain it to all of us. Here's another collage page. I love the fact it's got bits of like fabric and lace in it, the kind of the trees and the leaves. So there's lots in these pages to see, and lots of things where you could cut out tiles. In fact, I'm sure I've seen a make from Brian that does exactly that. So, again, these are very much pages that you can customize and make look really stunning. And I particularly like these ones. I think I've put at least 2 in, maybe 3, where again, lots of lovely open space, but just that subtle touch of leaves in the corner. So if you want to use this as the base for your card and you just want to stamp straight onto it, you've already got a bit of interest in there. I love this wood grain as well. Just the kind of painted and crackled effect. Sorry, I'm distracting myself by reading your comments as I'm looking at the page. Here's another of those pages that, as I was saying, where you've almost kind of, it's framed already. Even if you cut this down to make a card, you've got that framing because you've already got those kind of that branch and the colours starting to kind of lead your eye into the focal point. I'm hoping it doesn't have your name written all over it, Amanda. That will certainly limit my ability to sell it to people not called Amanda. And then this, I think this is the last one. Yes. So again, and this one I really, really like because it's kind of it's just a softer version of that palette, but with those kind of leaves, really soft and dreamy. So it is too easy to shop, Jane, isn't it? I know, I've been watching you. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful colours. And I had it wasn't exactly the same, but one that I think is kind of similar to this called Life Force last year, and that's completely sold out. So this one, if you like texture, if you like the kind of earthiness of the kind of the wood grain, the leaves, etc., this is a lovely, lovely pad to use. So let's get on to the main event, which is our 2 A5 stamp sets, and they are beautiful. Now, I will start with an apology because with the fox and the hare, I did an outline stencil that enabled you to kind of colour into the image or create a mask, and I haven't been able to do that for these this time. It just literally, as time has completely prevented me from being able to get to adding that to these stamps. They are really super easy images to cut out, so I'm hoping that you will still find that they're very usable. It was just a nice added extra with the fox and the hare, which I haven't been able to do this time. So you can see, hopefully, my shonky camera work. I'm just trying to avoid this, the shadow of the overhead. What Kim does, and she is brilliant, is she creates a fairly loose outline. You can see what animal it is. Obviously, there's no kind of confusion that this is a badger, but she then fills the animals with some of her own collage and doodle work. I follow Kim on Patreon, and so I actually can recognize the pieces where some of this artwork is taken from in terms of how she's added it to the animal. So it gives it a really arty, slightly abstract look. And this is a really good size. The badger is fantastic. I mean, there's even little bits of text just showing here. So we've got our large badger. We've got these 2 fabulous leaves, which are absolutely jam-packed with doodle detail. So again, when I'm talking about stamping onto the paper and cutting out, she's already given you a lot of detail to be able to get the benefit of having that colour coming through from beneath the line art. And then I love this. Oh, what's it called? What is that? Is it sycamore? Is it? Oh, I've forgotten now. Somebody's going to tell me. You know, that thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's fabulous. It's very autumnal. And again, the detail in it is beautiful, and they're nice large images. I mean, you'll see our Sarah has made some amazing samples of this, where we've got some beetles on the other set, and she's been kind of using this and the leaves to kind of give them wings. It's sycamore, isn't it? Thank you. Yeah, I call them helicopter things. Yeah, sycamore whirligig. Thank you. You've got your footprints, and then these are the kind of stamps which are really, really usable. And again, they're large. So thinking about journals or thinking of that as a single focal point on a really nice simple card, they're going to hold their own. So this is fabulous. I love this stamp set. And then we've got our lovely squirrel. So you can see, and I don't know how many of you have got this, but we've got an A6 stamp. I think it's out of stock. Apologies. From Kim, which contains this same kind of circular design. So she's put that into the tail of the squirrel. The squirrel himself is packed with again that collage detail, really kind of rough, arty textures. 2 amazing mushrooms, again with that kind of same line detail that we've got in the whirligig. I love this border of acorns. Look at the detail in that line art, super. And then you've got these 3 beetles. I think I'm sure that's what Therese meant by a spider. Hopefully, there's not an actual spider here. But they're great. Again, good size. In fact, I'm going to show you an amazing make by Sarah. But these are a good size, and you can imagine, because they've got fabulous detail in them already, do them in those kind of jewel tones that you get in the kind of fabulous beetles, and they again are big enough to be their own focal points. We've got a couple of sentiments on this one. No words on the other. Start each day with a grateful heart. Time spent in nature is never wasted, and flourish. So I think these 2 stamp sets are absolute winners. If you have got the fox and the hare already, then you can imagine how your library is going to expand. I'm probably at 0 to little stock of the fox and the hare. So, but if you really like these and you think, oh, actually, I wish I'd got those when they're available, then just click notify me in the shop. And if I if enough of you do that, then I will certainly order a small restock of those previous ones. But this is just, and I have just signed off another stamp set by our lovely Kim for the new year, which has a similar style to it. So this is a kind of theme that hopefully we can build on, a library of really kind of artsy, very textured line art that it's clear what it's conveying, but it's doing it in a really unique way. That's okay, Therese. You just had me worried with the spider. Oh, you have to check out the fox and the hare, Dawn. Check out the shop and see and have a look at them. I think they're called Hide and Seek and Tall Grass, I think, are the 2 A5 stamp sets. So have a look and see what you think. Because if you do like them and they're out of stock, do click notify me and I will get onto that. I was planning to get a small restock of them in, but as I'm sure you all appreciate, the current context has been a bit challenging. So I didn't want to take a risk on ordering more stock of older items unless I knew that you guys really wanted them. Stink? What stinks? Oh, stink bugs. I thought it was a comment on the collection. I thought, well, I like feedback. That's quite direct, though. 2 amazing stencils complete the lineup. So we've got the really lovely, very usable kind of oak leaf background. And this, I took this design, this image from, do you remember they were out just a few months ago in the Sweet Fall collection. There was the Cute Critters and there was the Falling Leaves A6 stamp set. So I've taken the images from that and made them into a stencil. So if you've got that stamp set, they're going to work really nicely with it. And then this one, I'm super proud of this one. This is a cut, I tell you, on the laser cutting machine. This is a job. But when I saw these leaves from Kim, I checked in with her and said, could I turn one of them into a stencil, because I just love the detail. I love the detail on this. So this is a 5x7 stencil, and I've done it as a 2-layer. So I'm sure it's quite obvious from the packaging, but just to be clear. So you've got your solid base. And again, there's nothing perfect about this. There's nothing even about it. It's hand drawn. And then you've got that wonderfully layered infill, which just kind of fits in. And there's a bit of a shadow around it. So again, placement is super easy. And that is a lovely stencil. Yeah. The cutters aren't that happy about it, but it's oh, don't start, Jane. Don't start, Brian. That's what Brian saw. That's what Brian saw. He's off now. Yeah, he said, oh, you sent me a bird stencil. There you go. There's the bird. Versatile, isn't it? So there you go. There's the bird for those of you that want a bird. So the stencils are a really lovely extension of this kind of core artwork. So I'm hoping you're liking what you're seeing. Oh, I know you're all going to see. You're all going to see the bird now, aren't you? I haven't seen Donna on, although I should probably see a pigeon. Um, this isn't new. You've already seen this before, and Amanda actually made a fabulous sample with it earlier this week. But I'll have it on the counter on Friday because, of course, you can imagine how the oak leaf. You can't even see it really, I think. The oak leaf Cascade 3D embossing folder is a great partner with the artwork in here. So. I was thinking ahead. I was thinking of an embossing folder that would work across collections, and I think this one absolutely does. So I hope you like it. It's not the biggest collection in the world, but then, as I say, we're getting to that end of year, and I don't want to kind of throw lots of big collections at you at this point, but I think it's an absolute gem. And when you see the artwork, the samples from the design team, I think you're going to agree. I think you will. So I'm going to start with this one from our wonderful Sarah. So she's used the Matchbox. So it's definitely a favourite with you all, is our little Matchbox. And then she's shrunk. She's done little shrink. Oh, you stuck them in, so I was going to pick them up. She's done little shrink plastic bugs and mushrooms. Isn't that fabulous? It's like a little field in a Matchbox. I was going to, I'm going to claim now because I haven't had time to do it, but I'm very much planning to. I was going to, I don't want to force that now. I'll do it after. I was going to use kind of one of these fabulous bugs and put it in the Matchbox because it just speaks to me of, that kind of, back to the Dark Alchemist. Again, a lot of that artwork will work brilliantly with this too, that Dark Alchemist collection. But I was thinking, it's like kind of, he's kind of collecting samples from nature, specimens from nature, and I thought it would go nicely in the Matchbox. Right, let's go on also to some of these awesome makes. So Brian here has really enjoyed this collection. He's done some amazing designs for us. So the bug here, you've got the leaf, the inside of that leaf stencil, just to giving you abstract details, so it doesn't need to be overly clear that it's actually a leaf. He's just used it for the line art, repeat stamping in the background. And that's just fabulous. So you can see this is like a DL card, that bug is a decent size to be able to just carry the front of that card. This one I absolutely love. Again from Brian, because he's put the sycamore whirligig things, made them almost like kind of flowers. Is that not clever? So lovely. Really love it. I mean, of course, the paper in the background kind of goes without saying, and then that kind of berry branch just in the black and white. I love the way Brian does that quite a lot. In fact, the next sample is a great example of that. So he's laid up or cut out tiles from the paper and configured them to suit his design. But I love the way he sometimes leaves the stamp image black and white, so it really pops against the background. So really fabulous. So these are real kind of showstopper cards, and no disrespect to my amazing design team, relatively straightforward because of the beautiful textures and colours in the paper already. So, I've obviously just picked up a pile of Brian's at the top of the samples here. So he's got the squirrel on that background, fabulous leafy wreath. Again, it's a worker, that one. That die kind of works all year round. We've got the acorns kind of on the wreath there. So, and I do like the way you've been repeat stamping the sentiment, Brian. I think that works really nicely too. So, our squirrel, and then we have our badger. I think this one, it's Brian. I was going to say Sarah because it's a bigger card, but it's a Brian card. So this is exactly, again, the example I was making with the black and whites elements, obviously with the badger. That kind of makes sense. But the black and white elements really popping against all those rich colours in the background. And he's done an amazing job here where he's cut out, I thought maybe you'd mask them, Brian. You've cut out all the leaves, haven't you, to create that wonderful, I mean, that's just a beautiful border. And again, I think I think, cut out of the papers. I think you might have used a couple of different paper pads in there, but again, stamped and cut out from the pattern paper. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, bloody Brian again. He's here again. It's another one. Can't get rid of that bloke. And again, I do love this badger, and he stamped it here. You know, when I was saying about that kind of paper that's just the whites and slightly off whites, and he stamped the badger on that, and that works really well. So the badger still standing out from the background, but he still used the pattern paper to do it, and then his trademark black and white foliage. So I do love the wood grain on this. And then there you have, he has. If you just cut, I think he's cut an aperture. So there are different papers coming through in the background. Really fabulous. He is, I bet his craft room is probably a right mess now. So this one I think is by me. I was going to look at the back, it's by me. It's the only one I've got to show you, I have to say. Oh, it's all your orders, I blame you. So I've used the Oak Leaf Cascade embossing folder on that wood grain, a bit of gilding wax, and then the squirrel there. So because of course the Oak Leaf Cascade has got the acorns in it, so I think it's nice, ties nicely with the squirrel. And all I've done with the squirrel, just to try and give it a little bit of contrast and definition, hopefully it's coming up on camera, is I've cut the body away and layered it up and done it on a slightly paler paper than I have got on the tail, just to give it a little bit of definition. It's a really, really easy one to cut the squirrel. Is it your leaf stencil? That leaf stencil is amazing, Brian. Well, it looks brilliant on there. So this one by Ali, I adore this one because it's that back to complete kind of contrast with all those rich textures and layers. A really lovely kind of clean and simple card. So she's just torn a strip of the paper there. And is this honesty? Is that what we call this thing? Foliage, because it looks amazing. Just 3 of those, bit of the textured or bit of the pattern paper. Isn't that lovely? I like that. I do like that. And then we're obviously now onto an Ali pile here, I can see, because we've got another one from Ali. So Ali's really showcasing how glorious that large stencil is in the background. And she's kind of, I think she's heat embossed it. It's got a lovely glazed look to it. And our little squirrel is getting ready for winter, and he's got a whole pile of the acorns ready to hibernate with. Lots of lovely background stamping. It's just a fabulous make, this one. And I think Ali, you've heat embossed the squirrel as well, because he's quite glazed, not dazed, glazed. Then Ali again, the papers in the background, the fabulous squirrel, the mushrooms. I do love these mushrooms. And I love the colouring on these, Ali, as well. Really kind of got a glow to them. And then just to say, the leaves in the background. And she's even popped in some of the little rub-ons from the Hope Blooms collection, the sunflower collection, little butterflies, etc. So they work really nicely together too. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm saying that's right. To Vanessa, yeah, the honesty ones that are like parchment, aren't they? They must share their craft stash, Natalie, because you obviously let Philippa use the Matchbox die for her make. I love this one again from Ali, where she's obviously tiled the paper, and then you can see, you can see that's coming up lovely. She's gold heat embossed that lovely beetle, just real drama to this one. And it's one of those where sometimes you don't always, depending on the light, you don't always see the beetle to start with, and then it just flashes gold. It looks great. And then I've got some big ones here, so this must be Sarah. So our Sarah has made this fabulous scene. The leaves all piled up, the mushrooms. I love it. It's just got a real kind of fresh glow to it. It's fabulous that obviously use either some brushers or lindies or whatever in the powder in the background, but it really kind of pops. And then that acorn stamp, it's a great one actually for pattern building, for borders. Really, really easy to use, but it gives an effective finish. And then here we go from Sarah again. She's got the patience, hasn't she, this Sarah, because she's stamped and cut out all of these leaves, coloured them as well. They're not cut out, stamped on the paper. So a fabulous large wreath there. Isn't that beautiful? Those colours absolutely sing. And then obviously the colours on the body of the badger too. So that's a really beautiful autumnal make. And then with the badger again here, I think, Sarah, I think I'm right. I think these are cut from the paper, aren't they? I thought you'd used real leaves at one point, but these are actually, I think, cut from that sheet in the paper pad. And here's the badger in his little badger set. And with that, I love that. I just do love that paper, that one with the strips of fabric. I think it looks really, really good. So again, something you really look into. Is it you cut them out of the paper pad? I'm sure. I thought you had. And then here from Sarah, she's kind of got that vibe going on there with the more jewel tones on the beetles. Just walking up a plank of the wood, all just the papers doing the work for her in the background there, but the colouring on the beetles really, really makes them shine. And then this is the one I was thinking of in my head when I was saying about Sarah extending. I'm sure I've seen another one with the whirligig as well. I haven't got them all here. So here's the beetle, but she's used the leaves to give it a real fabulous wings. I just love that as well. And then she's really just kind of brought in the colours from the exploding kind of powders into the actual main project. Aren't those wings great? And then this one, here's one from our Brian, which is stunning. I'm going back to Brian, and he's made this gorgeous tag book. So this is beautiful, and obviously the tags are inside here. All the kind of the main characters. There's some beautiful texture on these tags as well, with that crackle paste. There's a crackle glaze. It's really sturdy as well. You must tell me where you get your craft card from, Brian, because it's really lovely. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. It really is. Time spent in nature is never wasted. Really kind of a beautiful kind of way of showcasing all the things together. They are fantastic samples. I know, they just are very, very cool. And hopefully just even kind of showcasing literally just 3 of them in front of you there, you can see from this glorious shrink plastic make from Sarah, and the tag book from Brian, and the beautiful sycamore I can't say that word now. And where's Ali's? That one that I love from Ali as well. I mean, that's just beautiful autumnal goodness, isn't it? And those 4 makes, just realizing as I put them down, none of those 4 makes feature what would arguably be seen as to be the focal points of the stamp sets, the badger and the squirrel. So you can just see how much you're going to be able to do with these. Really, really lovely. So I'm hoping you're liking it, and you can either you're going to brave the live shopping. I don't want to break this matchbox. I'll leave it. Just leave it, Sarah. Step away from the matchbox. I didn't even say, you are very patient, everybody. I didn't even say what the giveaways would be. Oh, good Lord. So I'm going to do 2 giveaways, and what I was going to do was give 2 winners, the 8x8 pad each, and one of the A5 stamp sets of your choice. So you can either have the badger or the squirrel, depending on which one speaks to you. So they were the 2 prizes, the 2 giveaways. One of this, and then one or other of these stamp sets. I got there in the end. I started very businesslike, didn't I? And then I blamed Paul Lifton, who threw me off track, and then I forgot to tell you what the giveaways were. Oh dear. Right. Shall we have, I'm just trying to see what the time is. We'll do a very, very quick demo. Very quick demo, because I've taken, as always, taken too much time. But to be fair, certainly with the live shopping, and it was the case with TV too, to an extent, you don't really get the time to enjoy the samples and the work, as you can see already, that the DT put into these samples. They really justify spending some time going through them with you all. And I know the DT will be sharing them on the Facebook group and on Instagram, etc. But sometimes it's nice just to have a real look at them in real time as well. So thank you for supporting and encouraging them too, because I do throw lots of product at them and they have to turn it around very quickly. As Brian regularly reminds me. Don't you, Brian? He's like, oh, that's lovely. When do you want it by? So all I was going to do a very quick, very quick double page spread in my art journal. I don't mean double page spread and you think, oh my Lord, she'll be there for days. I'm going to completely use the papers to maximum effect, do something that comes together, I hope, fairly quickly. So you can see already, these are 2 different sheets of the 8x8 paper pad. So they work perfectly together. But what you've got here as well, you know, I like my diagonals, you've got that lovely space in the middle where it is still lighter. So you've still got a glow that's going to draw your eye in. I have already copied Brian, I think it was Brian, and stamped my badger onto that page from the 8x8 paper pad. Just remind you, sorry a second. So it's never the one you flick to, is it? Never. There we go. So that page, I've stamped him to the extent where you've got more of that texture towards the bottom of the animal, and then the kind of whiter space towards the top. So I've already stamped out and cut my badger, and he's going to be there. And what I want to do is create a little bit of a moon or sun in this top corner, just to keep that line of eyesight going. And then what I have done as well is I have stamped out from the papers in the pad, some of the fabulous leaves. And they always kind of have a bit of a tribal look to them when you add kind of white and gold highlights to them. So again, they can really look really striking. And I think these would make could make a card or a project in their own right. And you saw that gorgeous wreath that Sarah put together. I wasn't that patient. I haven't done that many. So what I want to do, so this is a mask, obviously I've cut. Should we put this in? No. Shall I put it in? No, I'm not going to put it in because I'm going to do a bit of stamping on it. So I'm going to leave it loose for now. So I've got a large circle here that I have die cut out of my masking material from Clarity. And I'm just going to use this to highlight, create a bit of a glow around the circle. So this leaf that's underneath there will still be visible, and it will look like it's kind of just in front of the sun or the harvest moon. I'll use a bit of rusty hinge, and we'll use a bit of either vintage photo or ground espresso, depending on how dark we want it to go. So I'm going for something quite subtle here. And and I'm really using very much tonal colours that echo the papers. So this isn't going to be one of those kind of circles that pops. It's just going to have that glow. And of course, one of the nice things about this clarity masking material is I can kind of take the ink onto that star with. It's almost like a bit like working on mylar on a stencil, because that ink just travels off the surface, but you're not worried about going straight onto paper. I'm just going to pull that colour out. Oops. Let's put a bit of brown down. I think they are really, really good masking sheets, and the reason I say they're made by Clarity, I don't stock them in my shop, but you can find them over on the Clarity Stamp website. The reason I give is there are lots of masking sheets out there, and it depends what you're going to use them for. The value to me, these are more expensive, but if I'm going to reuse something, these hold up to multiple uses. And also because they've got a slightly plastic covering to them, I find that the ink doesn't bleed through too much. So if I were to use that as a mask and want to do stamping that wasn't going to go through, some masking sheets the ink will bleed, and this does really kind of protect the surface below it. So again, it's all personal preference and trial and error. If you want just a quick mask for stamping purposes, a post-it note will do the job for you. But I do find these are helpful if you're going to use a lot of inky mediums over the top. So just trying to give a bit of definition around the edge. I think that will do the job. Let's see. I'm hoping you're going to be able to see this. Does that come through? Yes, they do die cut nicely as well. So yeah, can you see that's just going to give us a bit of a glow, almost kind of spotlighting that leaf, isn't it? So what else was I going to do? So I'm trying to keep that line of sight between our badger and the moon, and I thought let's use our lovely oak leaf stencil to keep a bit of that sense of a cascade going, which means really I should have kept my mask in place. I was just too excited for the reveal. Now you would think it's easy to mask a circle, but I can make applying a mask look very difficult. So let's go back with our rusty hinge, and again with the leaves, I'm not wanting them to be overly strong. So I'm going very lightly with my brush here. I just want this to be a suggestion of the leaves dancing in the air, because we've got the leaf stamp as well. The leaves, yeah, the leaf stamps, stamped leaves. I promise I haven't been drinking. So yes, this rusty hinge, I do like this for these papers. It seems to be a nice match. Bit of vintage photo. I think this is a fairly dry ink pad actually. So you just never know what you're going to catch until you bring the stencil up. And can you see that? So again, to me, it looks fairly harmonious with the leaves we've already got in the background paper. Let's continue their journey across though. We'll bring them down here onto this page. I was going to say, everyone, as well, thank you for watching my Sunday videos. The views are really climbing, so I really appreciate that. Hoping you're finding them useful. Hope you're finding them useful. Again, if there's anything you'd like to see me showcase that can take a bit longer, or you just would like a bit more of a kind of time spent on it, do message me. I'm always happy to kind of, gives me a bit of inspiration or something to work on in terms of a theme for a video. So yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Just keeping that line going. Yeah, I might. Yes, I've just had a litre of gin. Get me through the week, Lou. So, how lovely is that? I think that's really nice. So let's put. Oh no, I was going to add some. We know we want our badger in this corner here, and I thought let's add some of the fabulous foliage, the kind of large. All the mushrooms. No, I'm going to go with the large foliage. So I'm going to put some of those behind him. I don't need to mask him off because obviously he's cut out already, isn't he? So we can just take him away. And I think, oh, I like this one as well. These are your workers, aren't they? These stamps are the ones that you're going to use on lots of different projects for scene setting. I probably won't colour these in tonight because I haven't bought any colouring utensils with me. So I'm gonna just kind of stamp them with VersaFine Fallen Leaves. But what I will do, I don't know who was it Vanessa? Somebody was saying about them looking like the honesty looking like parchment. I definitely will go back in with either some white gel pen or even a white pencil to give that a softer look in the background. So I'm eyeballing this just in the hope that I stamp it high enough that something is visible behind our lovely badger. It is. It is. Let's do another one. Oh, talking about Lou, our wonderful Lou is going to take my teaching place on the Craft Collective workshop on the 9th of November. I'm still going to be there, running around, helping out and coordinating things, but I am massively grateful to Lou for stepping in in terms of the workshop space, and I'm really excited to see what it is she's going to be doing. And it's ages since I've seen you, Lou. Wow, in person. So that's going to be really, really cool. So, berries. Let's see. Yeah. Do I do another one? Yeah, do another one just to the front of him. Talking to myself now, everybody. Apologies. I said it would be a quick demo. I don't know why I believe it. You probably don't believe me. I don't know why I believe myself sometimes. Second generation. That's nice. Right, so we've got him in a cluster of foliage. Let's stick him down and then I can arrange the rest of it on the page to give you the overall look. I know it's what you can do in an hour that's like really fun and informative. It's going to be a fun day though, keeping everybody busy. There's definitely some workshop attendees in the group tonight as well, so you're going to have your hands full, Lou. I can tell you that much. Now, those of you that watch our Blinder's lives, you'll know that there's so much more you can do to bring that that badger forward with your shading, with your Stabilo oil pencils, etc., which I won't do this evening. But if and when you watch her Wednesdays, she often shows you those techniques. So look how this is going to come together. Really, because the papers have done all the work for me, it's a very, very simple journal page to bring out. I think I've lost a word. I think, oh no, there's heart. So what I was thinking is let's have some, so we've also got our stenciled leaves, but let's have some kind of larger ones too. How do we go? Let's have that there. And we'll have just the one. So again, just carrying the eye across the 2 pages, and then start each day with a grateful heart and finish it with gin. You can have that final bit yourself, obviously. Grateful. Other beverages are available. Heart. So just cut the sentiment apart. And I've stamped it again on that same sheet of paper that I stamped this, so it's not stark white. So I'm gonna lift that up. Can you see? And it looks like it's got so much texture and layers, mainly because you've already got the artwork on the papers, but it's not so intrusive that you can't then work on top of it. But just imagine if you were, you know, that sample that Brian did. So if you had the time, you know, with this as a journal page, for example, those leaves, you could be a fantastic border. You could make masks of the leaves and turn it into a wreath on your journal page. Just so many ways you're going to be able to use this artwork. But I love the fact the animals are a good size in terms of being able to hold an A5 page like that. Watercress gin. Oh, I'm not sure I like the sound of that, Lynn. You have to send me a bottle and I shall sample it. Right, I'm reaching for my phone. Oops, I kicked a box there. I'm reaching for my phone just to see if our lovely Ali has given me 2 giveaway winners for this evening. She's normally well ahead of me. She is, of course. So I've got 2 giveaway winners. Remember, it's the 8x8 pad and one of the stamp sets for your choice for each winner. And the winners are Anne Harrison, who's been watching on Facebook, and Christine Smith, who's been watching on YouTube. So congratulations to both of you. Thank you for watching and taking part. And if you're still here, if you can message me, personal message me on Facebook if you do Facebook, or email me on the Funky Fossil website, just both to confirm which of the A5 stamp sets you'd like and also your address, and I'll get those in the post to you. But I hope you like it. I hope you like the collection, everybody. I think you do. I can tell that it's resonating with you, and you can see the potential of these stamps. There is literally so much you can do with these stamps. And certainly those of you that already got the fox and the hare, you're going to, I'm sure, be already jumping way ahead of me in terms of how you can incorporate this artwork with those. So I'm very grateful for your company, as I say, for you joining me every Wednesday. If you're watching my Make It Sundays, for your encouragement and continued support during what, as we all know, are quite turbulent times. So you're keeping me going, you're keeping me smiling, and I hope you also are having a decent week. I hope I shall see some of you at 9 o'clock on Highlight Crafts, where I'll be doing my live shopping, and we'll be running up and down the counter with those codes, and I hope some of you give it a try for the first time. But if not, then you'll be able to get this collection from my website on Saturday. For those of you that like your loyalty points, then of course you'll be able to accumulate them there. I think that's everything. So I'm going to leave. Mr. G's been suspiciously quiet, so I better go and see what he's been up to. I'm going to leave you for the rest of the evening, and I shall see you Friday. And after Friday, you will be able to see my Sunday video, which will be releasing as usual at 10 o'clock on Sunday. So good evening, everybody, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye for now.
20:05.
Why do you talk to me, Watch?